Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Manthan with a Mystic. Manthan, in Manthan, we give life solutions to your problems in the show. By the time the show is over, your problems will have a solution. All right. So, without much ado, let's start with the questions. I have got a couple of questions. Let me just check. Anjali Sharma. Okay. Anjali has asked a question. Like it's a continuation to last week episode. Um, she is asking that probably she has been she's been traveling a lot. She's been meeting a lot of people, and she connects to them. But every relationship that she gets into lasts for about, say, maximum 6 months. Initially, there is a good connect, but later on, she feels a disconnect. So, is it her trust issue or is it the other person's issue? And she's been into 10 relationships by now.
This is a childhood issue, and her relations with her father is probably uh, were not good and still is not good. Whether it's a trust issue or any other issue, we need to really get deep into it and find out. It can be any other issue. May not be a trust issue, maybe boundary issue, maybe some issue that is actually bothering the relationship between the two.
Mm.
Basically, she need to reconnect with herself and get into a better connection with oneself. So, how to connect with oneself? See, there are processes of connecting to one own inner self, a childhood self, where the emotions are stuck and the growth, internal growth, is ceased. It is not developed internally. So there are many processes which are available, which you can connect to her one's own self deep into. They do the psychologists and other people do the processes. Like we have the process of recode in
Mm.
our, and that process is there in the website,
Mm.
which is displayed. There is a pre-section, so she can access to that section and just find out what is probably her issue is. Based on that, she can choose to decide as to what is an issue. So there is a set of questions we have already given in there, and when you answer these questions, the problem is identified, and then if she feels that okay, we can help her further, and there is an option available there to get into a help. But if she doesn't want to get into that, the recode, and she wants to work with herself, it could be a long process. But yes, it is possible to work with herself. So basically, once she finds out where is an issue, then it becomes very easy to deal with it. So it could be a trust issue, it could be a boundary issue, it could be a various issues that one goes through. So in that, there are 11 or 12 issues I have talked about. She can access to that and she can find out. But when she finds out, all she needs to do is to internally connect to her that child within and observe her state now. And when she observes the state, so in this space and time, she needs to allow that situation to surface in the memory and the feeling. So once you are observing it, once you are awakening without getting involved, what happens is that every time she gets into a relationships, she is involved in that loop. Now, when she observes this thing happening, the patterns get disconnected. And uh, everyone has layers of within, or a lot of emotions are seized within, which we need to open up. And the whole journey of the life is nothing but is to release our inner frozen emotions and our inner development. So within oneself, there is a child the child is hurt, the child is shamed, the child is demands are not met with, and is not loved properly, and various other things that a human being can go through. Well, I have narrated every one of them in my pre-program, and if possible you can just post the link after the program, so it is easier for her to access this information. I recommend this. Everybody is, whatever once they go through it, they can always go through these audios to identify what kind of issue that the one is caught in, and this can really help you to at least understand you and the people around you. So my recommendation is very simple: that she needs to work internally before finding an external solution, because in my opinion there is nothing external that needs to be done. Sometimes sometimes in the relationship, that you have to disconnect with certain people. That is not the case here. So definitely she needs to work with herself.
So Anjali, I hope you will. I will share the link with you. You can go through it, and we can take it up from there. I have another question from this. His name is G2. That's how he's addressing himself. He says there is a big buzz about ETs, aliens, and all this. There is tons of videos on YouTube and all the places around. So is it because there's going to be a huge change in the universe, or is something is the 20? I mean, after the 2012, what is the next thing that is going to happen? Is the universe is going to go through a dramatic change? Why all this flooding videos about ETs and aliens? Are they for real, or it's just another buzz? You'll have to excuse me for a minute. I'll just go off camera. I'll put you on the first screen.
So the point here is, whosoever that person has said, uh, I have to take you little in the background as to make you understand this. ET and aliens have been always there. It is not that they have come here right now. They have been, always helping us and supplying it with us a lot of information. Aliens are, it's not a right word to use. ET is the right word to use. Alien seems to be more hostile word. And the fact is that the lot of government has not opened up this information to us. They have they have the correct information. They know about this for a very long time, and they will only project to us that they are hostile, and they are not. They can be in the war with the human beings, and we need to protect the humanity. That's all incorrect. That's all fear based, and that's all because they want to have more control over humanity. But fortunately, ETs have been working extensively, because our planet is going to go through a huge change in the coming years. And for that, we are not prepared. And we need to be prepared in two ways. In the transition, we require to be uplifted, uh, ascend spiritually. That means take a step up from our human body. We need to be in the space where we can realize that we are much bigger and much larger than the what we feel that we are in the human body, and the emotions and the thoughts and the the system of five senses and five elements. No, the entire world that we perceive as humans is limited to the five elements and five senses. The world is much bigger, much larger, much peaceful, much loving, and much and it is are helping us in revealing the information to us through us. uh, for your information, the ETs are there around the earth and in the orbit, and they have a very advanced uh, you know uh, space stations and ships, and they have a very their communication system and their learning process. They're very advanced in terms of the knowledge that they pass on to us. And there are cases that maybe your soul has been taken to these ships, and they infused you with so much information, and those informations are being flooded on the YouTube. And there are movies, there are series which writers write, and these information comes through these writers. So probably it reaches out to a large audience, but unfortunately in many ways the ETs are not projected rightly by certain segment of the humanity, uh, which is not a very good sign for the humans. One must realize that all the advanced knowledge, all the advanced information, all the advanced techniques that we receive is mostly from the ETs, and they work through us many times. They support us. Uh, Suppose you write, an auto writer gets that information. Being a psychic, you get these informations as to the kind of an information, or the the portal that they make in the humans. There are two kinds of souls which are present in this universe. I mean, this earth right now. One is that they are old souls which have been living on this planet for a very long time, and there are souls who have directly descended from the from the other galaxies and the other worlds, and therefore they work very extensively to support humanity and to pass on the information as to the helping human. I have come across personally many those kind of souls who are direct descent from the other galaxies, and their first birth is in on planet Earth. So they are very not very comfortable with the systems here. They learn a lot of things. They are not compatible with the other humans. They are quite aloof at times, and they have different characteristics than we human has. Their emotional states are very different from us. They are more sensitive, more compassionate, and they have a specific task to perform here. So, not only the ETs in these forms. I have witnessed and I have access to certain information where I've seen the pictures of the ET, and that I run with a close group. I make them experience and to directly connect with the ETs. So, with the help of my master, he has empowered me years before, to tap into the energies from the other world. And there are many research work which is available, and there are I mean, in Western world, there are many people working directly, communicating with the ETs, and they help you learn these techniques. and they can teach you how to connect and access the information. So maybe out of that, some of are creating the fear. Some of them are not the right information. Some of the I had read a couple of books in which the information was given, but sometimes it was partially right and it was not 100% right. So the simple thing is that we have to accept their existence and we have to work in tandem with them rather than working with the our own energies alone. That's a much faster way to work in this space, in uplifting the humanity, in uplifting the life of the humans and spiritually awakening them. Why spiritually awaken? What is that? What is going to happen? Suddenly, the earth, the transformation of the earth is so quick and so fast, and the changes which is happening in the electromagnetic force of the earth and the Schumann's resonance, that is the energy which the earth emits. And there are many factors involved in this. That's the reason why we know that the earth is going through a huge change. So there are two possibilities exist at this point of time. The possibility number one is this: we have to, as a human, shift to the other planet. And I have a strong information and the feeling about this. Now, whether in when you say the information in the scientist in the term of the science, I need to put it down in the papers, and it requires to be tested, and it has to come correct. Well, I don't have that kind of a documentation, but my when I visit the other planets and the system around, and when I question the source and the information which I got, it says that we have been humanity or the inhabiting keeps on shifting from the one planet to the other. That we have been shifting, we have been inhabiting in some other planet previously, and there are now documents available that there is some kind of an energy into the moon and the other planets where a lot of energy movements are there, and these ETs and aliens do exist there. So
So, do we have evidences for this?
evidences are the people who have said at different point of time the same thing. They have been their souls have been taken to the moon, and their experience of the moon and somebody else's experience about the moon and the third person's experience about, well, it is more of a circumstantial experience of various individuals who are in this field and working in this field, and the kind of the information that has been given to them, that is the source.
Amazing. I think there's a connecting question to this, that is it really possible to talk to the people who are not existing on the earth plane? This is a lot in the West, that people talk to mediums and psychics to connect. There are some are psychics who predict your future, and mediums who connect you to the people who are not on the earth plane right now. So is it real, or is it just an imagination that they are talking to you?
It is not an imagination. uh, People have spent their entire life helping others, helping humanity, helping overcome their own issues by helping them to connect to the souls which are departed, as well as the souls which are existing in the other galaxies, and their own experiences being in those galaxies. There are experts who have done this, and they teach you this process, and they have the institutes right now. I've studied them in great depth about it, and I know for the fact that they do exist. and you can connect to them. And once you connect to them, once you know about your own self, it's not about others, it's about your own self, you know, and your interactions there. Your life transforms here completely.
And would you, I mean, there are a lot of people who say that they do auto writing. So, how does this occur? Is it a talent? Is it a prodigy? Or is it something to do again with the outer world conditions?
See, the principle is very simple of the mobile phone. If you are connected to the network, all that we can do as speak is because of the Wi-Fi or the network which is connected. Now, that's if you connect to that network and you step into that, the source of which is, or the soul which is providing you with you all these information. So it gives a command in your brain, and somebody, all that you need to do is to write. There are auto writers. There are people who speaks about this information. They record this information. A lot of books has come into the auto writing state. Like the first work
Like
of many
Neil,
years ago, like
Neil
many years,
Walsh, Conversations with God. That's
yeah,
auto writing.
conversation with God, and even the work of Crayon is mostly the auto writing work. And see the Ra's work, Ra is a
Yeah.
very profound and a powerful energy. Its work is available on the internet and even on YouTube, where actually the original audios are recorded, and Ra's audio are, you can listen to the voice of Ra, and all the information has been passed by Ra. So these phenomena have been uh, present in this world. It's only a question of your interest and your ability to, you know, your
So,
inclination to connect. Once you know about this possibility, sometime in your life you will encounter this. Otherwise, you are not going to be exposed to this kind of knowledge at all.
so here you mean to say that it's not about the eligibility, it's about the availability. If you're available to listen to the messages, you will be, it's not like only the chosen ones, or, people have this like, okay, this is the chosen one. So you mean to say auto writing, mediumship, this can occur with anybody if they're
Yeah,
ready to
it
receive?
can occur, and you can actually train yourself and open up the certain energies. You know that in our workshops we have opened up people's energy,
Yeah.
that they
Can
have
this
become mediums. You
can
have
this
become
be taught?
psychic.
Yeah,
You have
but the
become
person is
psychic.
asking, can this be taught? Is it a hidden talent, or it can
Yes,
be
it can
learned?
be taught. Yeah, so for that open the channel. We open the channel, no?
That which happened in Divya Shakti.
Yeah, that, and then that opening of the channel, then what will exactly the quality of yours will open up, which part of your soul gets triggered, and then depends. One of the participant become medium, some other participant become a writer, and some other participant like you have become complete psychic, and it all depends on yourself. It's nothing that, but yes, definitely a channel opens. Yesterday we had a very great experience of somebody, uh, a three-tier city. In that, she is working as a nurse in the gynec department,
Midwife. Yeah.
and she helps females to undergo a delivery. And she had a case yesterday that she has, the child in the mother was, the heartbeat was not there, and what's actually stopped in front of her, and and she called for the energies, and she got the heartbeat again, and delivery happened immediately after her prayers in 10 minutes, and that was witnessed by the mother, and mother was shocked, and mother was informed about the child's condition, and she really was shocked. uh, See, miracles are actually everything happens is miracle only. We separate the miracles. We living in the body itself is a bigger miracle. What else can be a miracle, you know? So all the
Right.
miracles we look at normal,
And that was
which
an
can never.
astounding experience, like this happening and she connecting to this. Okay, this person has shared a quote. He said, please explain this. Like, ego wants separation and love wants unity. How does one know that we are in love or we are in ego?
The first thing you need to let go is these two separations. Ego is only you, love is only you. It is your own self. They are not separate. Once you What is ego in the Hindi terminology? It ahankar. Now, if you break it, aham akar, my shape. So my shape in terms of the my body, my shape in terms of my thoughts, my shape in terms of my emotions, my shape in terms of the journey of my soul. That is my shape. Once I let go that shape, what I'm exposed to is the just being a part of this huge consciousness, and that consciousness flows through you fully and completely. Even though the consciousness definitely flows through you, but you are in the forefront, and so it's same goes with the God. The God also guides you in a very colloquial terms. The God is there, but what is a tragedy that we want God to do the way things we want it. Let us be available to the God to get things done through us, whichever God wants, rather than we deciding. So ego is ahamkar. So once you let go your akar, then you are beyond space time. You have no shape. You have no identity. You are completely dissolved, and being in this body, you can feel that oneness. You can experience that oneness, and ego is just to make you. It is a system created by the universe. It is not at all bad. Unless you have an experience of ego, you cannot have an experience. Unless you have a feeling of separation, you cannot have the experience of oneness. So it is a part of the system, and that's your journey. So
Awesome. Okay.
accept both. I'm ego and I'm love together.
So I hope this answers your question. There is a very strange, it's a direct question. Swati says that she's been meeting a lot of people. Like she's in some kind of trouble, and she's met readers, astrologers, and most of the time they've been telling her that you have chosen this, and this is coming from your and other life, this life. She says, why on earth will I choose my problems? I have better things to choose. Please explain.
So choice, there are two kinds of choices, Swati, you make. Swati, when they talk about the choice, uh, they don't talk about the problem as a choice. They talk about the journey as a choice. Okay. The problem is the tag that you have chosen in this lifetime. Actually, it is pushing you to overcome something. You you have chosen for a greater light. The the darkness you have chosen for the greater light. So you have actually chosen the light, but for the time being you are in the darkness. So look that darkness as a, transition.
Absolutely, absolutely relatable. I think
You
Swati, you need to somewhere gather the understanding that what, just listen to the mistake again. Sir, could you just elaborate this? Because her question is too loud, and there's one line of her question which we have still to cover. She says, if getting spiritual or being spiritual is going to, I mean, create so much of problems, why on earth would I want to be spiritual?
Well, it is not I who have given you, or nobody has given you that. It is not difficult at all being spiritual. It is the most easy thing to be a spiritual, and it is only a shift of the system that we are operating in, and that shift is internal rather than the external. And the external situation is pushing you internally because, see, when you say the problems, let me define what the problem is. We look difficulties as the problem. Well, difficulties are the exams. Have you not gone through your exams, to get your degree? So why don't you look at that? So any expertise that you want to have, the first is learning. The car that you want to drive, the mobile phone that you want to use, a new gadget that you want to use, or a new instrument that you want. That's why that is not a difficulty, because we have not pursued that way. In the relationship, if you have to tune with somebody, it is a difficulty for us. Why don't you look at that as a new gadget and I need to explore and find out, you know, कि कौन सा ऐप डाउनलोड करना है, कौन सा बटन दबाने से क्या होता है. So we expect that as a, here the entire program, control of the program is given to you, and you expecting a ready-made control panel to be given to you. That's the difference.
I
Even for the people who you feel the life is smooth, it's not smooth. It appears because it looks smooth from the outside. Internally, they go through the same thing. Suppose you are being given millions of dollars, but then again a challenge of how to handle those millions of dollars. They have that challenge. How to grow that? What is to be done with that? They get insecure about it. If you are given fame, what happens? It's very difficult to handle the fame. It's not easy. You cannot go out in the public. You can't do certain things. Every day you have to wear new clothes, and you don't know what to do with the old one. Where in which you have spent a lot of money. I mean, there can be innumerable problems. So problems are the part of life. What you should focus, Swati, is don't you don't need to get into the path of spirituality. Nobody wants you to be in that. First of all, come to terms with yourself. The basic is to come to terms with oneself. How to come? Because there is a division within. You have to unite your inner self. And that can be done without doing anything, without going through this. You have to sit down and observe. The greatest thing is, I have found a very simple solution to this problem. To everybody, it's not about Swati. Swati kya ho? See, the challenge is with simplicity, if I give you a solution, you will not accept. The Swati will not accept. There are many Swatis, there are many Suraj, there are many people who are really not looking for the solutions. They just need others to, they need somebody else to be fixed. I am perfect, I don't need any fixing. That's a preconditioning that there. I'm not saying Swati has that preconditioning, but majority of the people have this conditioning. So if I give a simple solution, So their mind will work like this. Okay, this is nice. It is good. So we go through a lot of YouTube and Instagram solutions. But we go through mentally here. We never experience them. We just listen to them. And in the pseudo self, we feel that, okay, I've done this. Many of your clients, like you give rituals, and they say, हाँ कर लिया कहाँ किया माइंड में किया एक्चुअली नहीं किया तो इतना सिंपल solution. I'm giving you the simplest of the simple solution. And I just want you to do this with all your problems. It requires some dedication, some discipline, some due diligence you need to do with your own self. Like be in the be in the state where you're completely cut off with everything for some time. Once you master this practice, just either in the morning or night, close your eyes and feel you are in the theater. And theater is completely empty, but you are safe and secure in this theater. And you can see the huge screen in front of you. Now start looking at all the problems there on the screen and just see, play it, observe it. Do nothing. Just do nothing. Just observe. Okay, play it and observe. Play it and observe. Don't get into it. Don't get involved into it. Just look at it. And you see how internal changes starts happening to you.
Okay, so all those who are watching it right now, I hope you are doing it with us. And if you're not doing it with us, please do it whenever you watch this video again. So next, Manthan will be on 23rd, and 23rd is an Amavasya. So probably I have asked the mystic to give you a small little new a small little meditation at the end of Manthan, because 23rd, after 23rd, there is going to be a change in the planetary positions. From 24th November, there's going to be some um, brilliant changes and acceleration in your communication, and a lot of stuff going to happen. We'll talk about that in the next month. And so see you on 23rd. And if you have questions, please post it to me. You can WhatsApp me on the number that is scrolling down below, or you can WhatsApp, or you can send it on the comment section. We will take up your questions. And next month, then, it's going to be something that you're going to wait for, because we're having some live audience on 23rd. So we're going to do a Manthan very differently. So मिलते हैं अगले हफ्ते. I think we are done for today. Thank you very much. Have a fantastic day.
Thank you, Shri. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.